Hello friends, I am Dr. Anupama Shekhawat and today I will tell you what a literary appreciation of a poem is. Generally, some people call literary appreciation to be critical appreciation. Now these are two paradoxical words, critical and appreciation. So we tend to appreciate a poem on different parameters, but then they must not go haphazard. There is a particular sequence which we need to follow when we go for a literary appreciation or a critical appreciation of a poem. So, how we can begin? First point which we have to take care is the introduction of the poet. Who has written the beautiful verses? We will give a small biological sketch of the poet along with the number of compositions which he has done. We have to be very much specific regarding that. In the next line or the next point can be writing about the background of the poem. So when we talk about the background of the poem, it means that the thought has not come randomly into the poet. He must have he must have seen something, and that's the reason the thought of the poem comes. For example, when we talk about Solitary Reaper, which is written by William Wordsworth. What happened? He saw a girl who was reaping and cutting by herself, and when he was sitting in some recluse mood, he thought about the girl again and he composed the beautiful poem of Solitary Reaper. Similarly, the background is there for each and every poem. What we have to do is, we have to research about it. The next important point when we go for the critical appreciation or literary appreciation of the poem is, you write about the summary. But the summary has not to be detailed. It has to be a very brief, curtailed summary, but it mustn't miss any important point. Write about each detail in a very specific yet brief manner. The another important point which is very important here is the figure of speech. Now figure of speech has a spectrum parameter. What does that mean? It means that it must carry whether the poem has simile. What is a simile? Simile is when there is comparison between two things with the help of as and like. For example, she is like a rose. So like is word used, and that's the reason it's a simile. Second parameter is whether the poem has a metaphor. Now what is a metaphor? Metaphor is when there is a comparison which the poet puts up in the poem without the help of as and like. For example, she is a rose. In the earlier example of simile, I said she is like a rose. I was using the word like. She is as beautiful as a rose. I use the word as. Like, as, simile. Without like and as, if we compare, then it is a metaphor. For example, she is a rose. Now I am putting up a comparison without the help of as and like. The another important figure of speech is whether the poem has alliteration. What is alliteration? Alliteration is when we use certain word in a sequence so that it gives a musical rhythm to the poem. For example, how high His Majesty holds his haughty head. Now which is the word I am using again and again? H. How high His Majesty holds his haughty head. So when these certain word is repeated again and again, it gives a musical sound to the poem, and this again makes an important parameter in the figure of speech. Another one is personification. Now again the question comes up, what is a personification? My dear students, when the poet teaches something abstract. What is abstract? Abstract is when something which you can only feel, which you cannot see, love, hate, jealous, summer, winter, spring, these all are to be regarded as abstract. Ode to West Wind by P.B. Shelley, wherein he writes this beautiful ode considering West Wind to be a person. So when we consider the abstract to be the persons, then this is known as personification. We have to see whether the poet has done any personification in the poem or not. The another important parameter for the critical appreciation is that the poem which we are trying to evaluate, whether it has scenic beauty, it has natural beauty or not. Natural imagery, what we call. There are two types of imagery. For example, when you read the poems of William Wordsworth, beautiful sonnets of William Wordsworth, you will come to know that he has used the natural imagery because he was fond of nature. Some modern poets, they go for modern imagery, the city imagery. So we have to see whether the poet is fond of a natural imagery or whether the poet is fond of city imagery. We also have to see whether the imagery or whether the words which the poet has used, what we call as diction, they are modern or archaic. Now what is a modern diction? Modern diction is when the poet uses the words which we are familiar with nowadays, you, me, he, she, it, I. But then if the poet uses the words like thou, they, these, alright, these words are regarded as to be the archaic words. So we have to take care which kind of diction the poet uses. So when we talk about figure of speech, we also tend to include the diction also nowadays. After imagery, diction, personification, the important parameter is conceit. Conceit is, for example, when I talk about John Donne, he talks about metaphorical conceits for which he was very popular, he was very famous. Metaphorical conceit, then as the name suggests, metaphor. That means metaphorical, metaphysical conceits, something which is beyond earth. Meta, beyond, physical, the earth. So conceits are those imageries which we cannot think of. For example, the important poem of John Donne, Sun Rising, wherein he quotes that the bed is the center of universe wherein he and his beloved are laid. So this way, my dear students, we go for figure of speeches, we go for beautiful critical appreciation of a poem. After this, after figure of speech, we tend to write what we feel about the poem. Whether it has been able to excite our mind, our images, whether we are able to go in the same line as the poet wishes us to go in, or whether we are going for something which is something our own novel experience. That is what is written in what I feel about the poem. The another important and the last point is the conclusion. Don't go for an abrupt conclusion. Let the conclusion gradually come. Let it flow gradually. Write down what you feel, quoting all above what you have written. Don't forget one more important parameter of the poem, which is the type of poem. Whether it is a ballad, whether it is a lyric, or whether it is an ode. This has to be written before your own views. So let me sum it up. First of all, when we go for critical appreciation, we go with the introduction of the poet, followed by background of the poem, followed by the summary, followed by figure of speech, in which we will talk about simile, we will talk about metaphor, we'll talk about alliteration. We will also talk about the kind of poem which we are studying, whether it is an ode, whether it is a lyric, whether it is a ballad, followed by your views, conclusion. I hope this session of critical appreciation is very much clear to you, and henceforth, now whenever you will go for critical appreciation of the poems, you will do it perfectly. Thank you.